David Ornstein. David, good to see you. Want to start with the first match that we're going to see tomorrow morning. Everton hosting Manchester United. Let's start with United. Obviously, still dismal times. What have you heard that is the current affairs going on behind the scenes right now?
Well, when it rains, it pours, Anna. Yesterday was actually a year on since Ineos, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, completed their investment in the club and took a minority stake and gained sporting control. It's fair to say most of the early optimism that greeted that development has largely now evaporated, although it still is relatively early days. Look at the debacles they had around Erik ten Hag, who won the FA Cup, was then given a new contract despite the fact that United were interviewing potential replacements. Fast forward to October and he was sacked at great expense. Dan Ashworth, the sporting director they waited so long to appoint from Newcastle, again at expense. 5 months later he was gone. The financial accounts that were released by Manchester United this week showed that that came at the expense of around £15 million just in terminations alone. Talk about this regime trying to move on from the wastage of the past regime, but they will feel that at least they acted decisively, and now they've got Ruben Amorim, who they hold high hopes for. What we're seeing in these financial results is that debts are up, losses are up, their revenues, despite still being a revenue generating machine, are down. They have £300 million in outstanding transfer payments. The cumulative total of interest just to service the debt on the club, largely laid by the Glazer takeover in 2005, is now up to £1 billion. And this is why Sir Jim Ratcliffe is instituting so much cost cutting and savings across the club. Job redundancies, 250 have already gone, 100 more may follow. Ambassadorial roles like Sir Alex Ferguson at £2 million gone. Ticket prices hiked mid-season with fans fearing they may be raised further. And even day-to-day savings that are really creating a low morale among the workforce. This is a pretty dark time at Manchester United, but Sir Jim Ratcliffe and others may feel that this is necessary to cut down what was a bloated organisation, that it's long overdue, and that it will eventually help them get where they believe they belong. They've got a new stadium to potentially build. They're redeveloping the Carrington training ground. Don't forget the Glazers have 6 more months in which they could sell Manchester United, and Ratcliffe would be compelled to come along with them and relinquish his shares. But before that, Ratcliffe would have the right to make an offer for the entire club. But that's a story for another day. At the moment, this is a remarkable, tumultuous time at Manchester United, certainly newsworthy, and we'll see how they get on against their former manager, David Moyes, tomorrow.
Yeah, a long journey to go before a brighter future at United. Well, speaking of bright futures, it looks like things at Everton, it looks like a really good place to be right now. Just tell us about the great work that David Moyes is doing and just the feeling around the club right now.
Well, this is an extraordinary turnaround that we've seen since David Moyes came in. Also, since the Friedkin Group took over as owners, we've got to place some credit on the shoulders of Sean Dyche because he kept Everton in the Premier League, but Moyes has really jet-propelled it. He's lifted the fan base and the players, the squad, the staff, from what I hear from speaking to my contacts at Finch Farm, the training ground, and Goodison Park, which will soon be replaced by Bramley Moor Dock because Everton are going to be moving there. They look like they'll be moving there as a Premier League team. They've had a test event there already, you may have seen this week. There are, though, some problems around transport to the new stadium that need to be resolved, but it's an amazing arena, exciting times. They need to sort out the sporting director situation. Kevin Thelwell's contract expires at the end of the season. I think most I speak to in the industry believe he's done a fantastic job there in very difficult circumstances, really low budget. It's all been about sales, but they look in pretty good shape now. Nobody's perfect, but if you analyse the squad and the results, given what's gone on there, not too bad at all. There's also uncertainty around the chief executive position. Reports this week that Angus Kinnear of Leeds United may well be coming in to take that role. Let's see what happens on that and the sporting director, full stop. There's a huge squad overhaul that's needed with just 12 players who will be under contract come the summer. So that's going to be a job for the Friedkin Group, the chief executive, and whether there's a sporting director and recruitment operation to bring new players in and deal with that. It's going to be costly. It's going to be hard. But finally, there is some light at the end of the tunnel for Everton. They're doing a bit better on the pitch, off the pitch too. Let's see how they get on against Manchester United.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Lowe, and as we head towards the end of an exciting Premier League season, make sure you like and subscribe on the NBC Sports YouTube channel for more content like this.